Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio, and today I'm going to do my own pick 10. So these dice were designed by Gina Ahrens. She did a video on them, and I'll try to remember to link it below on how to make them. And so I copied that and used her prompts, some of her prompts, and I'm just going to roll the dice. So I put them in that big bucket, shook them up, pick a dice, roll it, and do whatever it says on there. So the first one was add scraps. So that's kind of my favorite thing to do in the beginning of a journal, is just to collage something down so you have some texture and a place to start. And I really didn't know, what I was aiming for, and once I put that yellow piece down, I decided my pages needed to tend towards the yellow and orange. So that's what I do, is I try to grab scraps that go with that first colored piece, and we'll see what kind of background we end up with. These papers are all different kinds and thicknesses. Like that one I just stuck down was cardstock. It's a little hard to do with the liquid matte medium, but we're going to try and stick them all down. I've got cardstock, copy paper, newspaper, I think I have deli paper. Anyways, a huge variety. Okay, so I decided to leave a little white space, and we're going to roll another one. So I'm shaking it up, rolling it, and it's paint with fingers. So I decided I would pick out some paints, and I have, one of them's Calypso orange, and the other one is just orange. So I think the Calypso's the lighter color, and then this one's just orange. And I think they are ceramic. What is the brand? Delta Ceramicoat. Ceramicoat? Anyway. Yeah, the lighter one's the Calypso orange. Because I just looked at it for the label. So much for leaving some white space. I decided I'd use the paints and my fingers to kind of blend the edges of everything and just kind of get it all incorporated together. I think I was debating there whether I wanted to keep going, but I keep going. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to roll again. So I've got to move my wet paint and roll, and what does it say? Collage a magazine image. So I did stop the film, go and look for something, and this is out of a travel magazine, I believe. And this is the London telephone box. And I decided I didn't like the white, but I wasn't about to cut it, so I'm adding a little bit of that Calypso orange to it so that the window area will blend hopefully into the background without standing out too much. So it'll look like it's all a part of it. Anyway, that was the theory. So I picked that spot with all that yellow that didn't have a lot of dark, and figured that would be a good place to put it. Kind of looks like it's just you're seeing through to the background a little. And give it a nice good coat of the Liquitex matte medium. And before we move on, I decided to pull out my, I believe this one is the Stabilo. It looks dark. And just give it a dark edge. And do that. And wet around the edges just to give it some shading to bring it forward. It's hard to work on this little table with this big book. I like to rotate things rather than twist my hand around. But okay, so that one said add a quote, and I just had this word. I cut it out of the same page on the magazine, and so it's not really a quote, but it's a word. So we're gonna stick that on here, and I'd already stuck my brush in the water, so I didn't want to get it out, so I'm gluing it on with my fingers. It works. Okay, next one is turn the work upside down. That doesn't say for the next 3 or the next whatever, so I just turn it upside down for the next everything. Had a few pieces of paper sticking up there. It's that cardstock, so I have to glue that down again, and then we'll dry it off, which you don't see me do. And now the next prompt is paint with your eyes closed. Yeah, so I'm putting my hand where the stuff is because I don't want to cover it. I do end up covering it anyway, and I just decided the easiest thing to do with my eyes closed would be to scrape on some white paint. So I had to move my hands because my hands were in the way of everything, and so I then end up just going over everything because I can't tell what I'm doing. That was really hard. That is like a struggle. Okay, so now I've seen it. Now I'm going to take a baby wipe and get the white off of the phone booth. Yeah, see? Good thing I coated that with that matte medium so that that would come off easy. And doing the same thing with the word. There. Alright. So the next one is black gesso. Sorry you missed most of that. I don't know what happened. But I didn't want to put black gesso over the top of everything, so I decided it would be my border. It's a pretty dark border, but I don't know, it's kind of cool. Alright, the next prompt And I get the same thing over and over again, I tell you. Next one was to add dots, so I decided to turn it around because it doesn't matter which way you put dots on. So I decided I'd go for some yellow. And I believe that was sunflower yellow. And I'm just using a sponge dauber. First I just go straight down, and then I decide they don't look enough like polka dots. They're not even. So then I push and twist to get a nice circle going. And that's much better. And I just put them all over, except for on top of the quote and the phone booth. Alright, so the next step is going to be, see that? I just decided to throw that dice out. It's weighted. Oh, it said something metallic. I could not think of anything. And then I remembered I have this, it's a bronze colored marker. And I can't remember who it's by. It doesn't look very metallic. But if you hold it up at the right angle, you get a little bit of a shine. So that was the closest I could get to the metallic thing. And then my last prompt was to add neon. So I grabbed my neon yellow and decided we're just gonna put it over the yellow dots and make them pop out just a bit more. And I think it really does. It really makes those spots pop out. Alright, so that was prompt number 10, so technically we're done. I'm going to go around this with my pencil and darken around the edges so that word pops out a little bit more. And just wet it so it'll darken it. Then it'll stand out from the background. Well, it's kind of a simple page, nothing too complicated. I may eventually add something else to it, I don't know. But here's a few close-ups. I really like the texture of the background. It's my favorite part. But if you like this, please hit like, feel free to share, comment, and if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.